Good morning, a warm welcome to Maritime and Port News. Maritime and Port News is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in oil shipping solutions. You can contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. You can also join us live on YouTube, on Omanfm, and on Facebook on Netu TV GH. Tune in to Ashfm in Kumasi for more Maritime and Port News. My name is Nanesi Boateng. Let's take a look at our stories this morning. West Africa industry leaders, experts, and decision makers in the petroleum downstream industry are gearing up for the largest Ghana International Petroleum Conference, GIPCON. The conference, which is being organized by the National Petroleum Authority (NPA) in collaboration with the African Refiners and Distributors Association under the auspices of the Ministry of Energy and the Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, will take place in Accra at the Kempinski Hotel. Ghana's Vice President Dr. Haji Mahamadou Bawumia is expected to deliver a keynote address at this year's conference dubbed Energy Transition in the African Petroleum Downstream Context, Prospects, Challenges, and the Way Forward. The conference is designed to actively bring to the fore the downstream petroleum industry's perspective and guidance on issues of energy transition and how government policy and regulatory framework could drive the transition process. It also highlights best practices for the advancement of the industry, not only in Ghana, but across the West African sub-region and beyond. The workshop is expected to share best practices amongst ECOWAS regulators in Senegal, Mali, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, and Togo, and other key stakeholders on progress made thus far on adoption of the mandated AFRI-5 field specification and promote collaboration on the implementation going forward. Head of Mission Afrexim Bank, Eric Muncho Inton, says the PAPS platform offers the opportunity to know the average rate of conversion of the cedi to naira over the past decade, using the dollar as an intermediary to benchmark the rate to a specific amount. He said this same criteria must be applied to all other African currencies, as this will totally eliminate convergence criteria with the dollar. This process, he said, will easily renew the interest on the common currency agenda for the West African monetary zone, allowing the sub-region to easily determine whether to move naturally towards cedi, naira, or the CFA, hence narrowing interest to the single currency. He added that the PAPS, which allows net settlement by member countries to all the other 54 countries on the continent, is expected to give hints on which country is settling which one more and which currency can be used to narrow down on a single currency objective. The PAPS, Mr. Inton explained, also allows member countries to pay only the net settlement through trade without relying on third currencies. Estimates at the Afrexim Bank indicates the continent could be saving some $5 billion each year through the system. He said the system is designed to save cost, reduce pressure on FX reserve in various member countries, and give trends on how each local currency can be converted. In other stories, as peak shipping season kicks off, America's busiest port are once again experiencing congestion and container vessels waiting off U.S. coastline. Some experts are calling it the Disneyland effect. Southern California dealt with a traffic jam unlike any other during the pandemic that resulted in a record number of container ships waiting in the waters outside the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. The situation has improved off the coast of LA in June. The port removed 876,611 20-foot equivalent container units, and the backlog fell from a record 109 vessels to 21, according to the Marine Exchange. But in the meantime, shippers have been routing more traffic towards ports in the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. This trend has been going on for a while, according to the East Coast port officials. The East Coast and the Gulf Coast have more ports than the West Coast, but they have smaller capacities as compared to those in LA country. These ports also do not usually see significant congestion, which presents new challenges for port authorities. Officials at Georgia's port of Savannah, the fourth largest U.S. gateway for seaborne container import, said last week that docks in Savannah handled more than 5 million container units for the first time in the fiscal year ending June 30th. The port moved nearly 5.8 million container units of export and import, up 8% from a year ago. Now, according to data from Vessel Value, container ships are waiting over 200 hours, the equivalent of 9 days, at the port of Savannah. Meanwhile, at the port of Long Beach, the average wait time is about 5 hours. As of Tuesday, roughly 40 ships were sitting at anchor offshore waiting to transit the Savannah River and unload at the port's dock. In a final story, port productivity remains a huge hurdle for the U.S. supply chain as billions of dollars of product at anchor or landlocked, and a shift to the use of East Coast port over West Coast create new pressures. In the past 3 months, vessel capacity between the Far East and the U.S. East Coast has risen by 18.9% year-on-year, according to Ocean and Air Freight research from Zenita. While the West Coast continued to have a lead in market share of Far East container of 59.8%, it is continuing to lose more capacity to the East Coast as logistics managers move away from the West Coast out of fear of labor strike. In the last 3 months, container capacity also has dropped on the West Coast by 1.7%. This has an impact on trucking and rail companies that serve the West Coast because there is less container volumes to move rail companies. On this note, to wrap up this morning's edition of Maritime and Port News, proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in oil shipping solutions. Contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. My name is Nanesi Watama, producer, Kwekwa Boateng. Have a great day.
Give us pick capsules. A memory. Manum Bia Benamua. Can you to you and Kuma Boassé? The true SR pump near G.
Spanish garlic mixture and the capsules. A Buama Moja Jeff for Sanway Padianum ye.
Yes, so quite you may be young, maybe uncle. At the Ghana, Eco Vias and the Vias and Super Ghana Shippers Authority, and this what you know, say, you have one so sweated for. I will how be our name. If you know my ira, dear say, Tika Yajua and Fakwansu. Anyhow, I would be, Yenya Daji change so sweated for, and no ma echo, said your bay, I will bet yes. Yanis what you know, say, Yabasum. Near Somosopa, the Ghana Shippers Authority, our Ghana Shippers House, Ridge, Accra, Gapuha Towers, Tema, NCA Building, 12 Gardens, Echupe, Oakmas, Takradi Shippers Center, Takradi, Yamusa Building, Sansuna Gumbihini, Tamale, your complaints unit, our Elipu, Paga, Aflau Boda, Sansuna Kutukarium Shejinabia, and a Takotel, Takradi, Fred, 0302 66 6915, and I toll free number 0800 300 55.
Ghana Shippers Authority, providing shipping solutions.